They entered history in the final of the second Robot Wars. Panic Attack, penetrating, powerful, against Cassius, colossal, charismatic, KO'd. Panic Attack were the champions, but as we rev up, slide the gears and oil the pistons for a new series of conflicts, can they defend their Robot Wars crown?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Terminator's squash partner, Craig Charles.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the garage, Robot Wars 3, the truce is in tatters, the troops have been rallied, and household appliances across the nation have gone missing. But don't worry, madam, it's all for a good cause. Because this promises to be the biggest, the baddest, the most destructive war yet. And why? Because these robots were built to fight each other. And who are we to stop them? Now, each week, 8 brand new robots will go head-to-head in the nastiest, most gruesome knockout competition ever. Now, the games may have taken a backseat, but the gratuitous violence has been stepped up a gear because, well, that's the way we love it. Of course, these roboteers won't just face each other. They'll face the mechanical might of the house robots.
The sparks are gonna fly when Dead Metal enters the arena, armed with hydraulically driven pincers and a petrol-driven 3,000 revs per minute saw. Sergeant Bash is back with new weaponry, hydraulic pincers at the front, and that ferocious flamethrower mounted on a 360-degree turret. This war machine's certain to leave all opponents hot under the collar. Shunt, a power-packed robot capable of dragging a fully loaded Land Rover with its hydraulic lift and the ability to cleave all opponents in two with a pneumatically driven diamond edge axe which strikes with over 500 kilograms of pressure per square centimetre. Entering our theatre of war, the matriarch of mayhem, Matilda, with tusks of steel and a chainsaw tail capable of piercing the toughest armour plating and destroying all opponents.
Of course, no wars would be complete without the ultimate killing machine, back with better weapons, the big daddy of them all, the mighty Sir Kill-A-Lot. Imagine finding him in your laundry basket. Now, since the last wars, more and more roboteers have been trying to get into the action. And who can blame them? And to prove just how much Robot Wars has grown, yes, she's back as well. Here's Philippa in the pits.
Thanks, Craig. Yes, Robot Wars is bigger and better than ever before. We have 128 heavyweight contenders, all battling to be the Robot Wars champion. I'm surrounded by some of the best amateur technicians, special effects guys and engineers in the country. They have everything to play for, so they're all making frantic last-minute preparations before they go to war.
Presiding over the competition will be our 3 judges. Noel Sharkey, head of robotics at Sheffield University, Adam Harper, a designer and engineer, and Martin Smith, head of robotics at the University of East London. Now, the aim of the game is to knock each other out. If 2 robots are left standing, then our judges will make a decision based on our tried and tested criteria of style, control, aggression, and damage. Now, we have 16 horrendous heats to get through. The winners will go through to one of our 2 series semi-finals. But ultimately, our 4 bravest warriors will go head-to-head for the title of UK Robot Wars champion. But hey, enough of me. I want to see some bashing. Philippa, who are tonight's contenders?
Yes, hello, welcome to the pits. It's absolute chaos here, so I'm going to talk really fast because it makes it seem even more chaotic. This is Brimher. It's flipping fantastic because...
It flips over.
It flips over, thank you very much. You may remember Shane and Brian from last year. They're back with Maze 2, new and improved, faster motors, better pneumatics and swapped hairstyles. All fantastic. And this is the first robot that I've seen, excuse me, sir, with a beer barrel involved in the design, which is great, I think. Works really well, and it's called Really Wacko. Thank you very much. This is the Stinger, Just watch how much my biceps have to work to pick this up. The key to this robot is its weight, and that saw. Look at that. Isn't that cool? There you go. There you go. They spend so much time making these other bits and bobs, they don't have time to concentrate on the robots. That's a problem. This is Red Dragon. It has its own lead so that they can take it for walks. This is Suicidal Tendencies. The treads alone on this took 3.5 weeks to build. They've been going at it hammer and tongs for months and months and months now. So we're hoping to see great things from them. This is Forklift's Revenge. Isn't it fantastic? Oh no, it's down here. But the thing is, right, which one of you, team members, collects tumble-dryer doors? Come on, confess.
I'm afraid I do. I have a collection in my garage. My son admitted to it.
That's it. I'm not saying anything more on the subject. He collects tumble-dryer doors. Razor blades, you may remember last year this was the team of...
Oh, Killdozer, sorry.
Killdozer team. And now they're back with razor blades.
We are.
And this time they're going to win.
We are?
And this time they were going to really get the killer lot because you got you last time, didn't they?
We did put us in the flames last year, but we're going to get it back this year.
OK. Oh, watch that carefully. Jonathan.
Philippa, they're not the only team back. Our first battle has Stinger against the Mace 2 team. They're returning. Then Forklift's Revenge against Suicidal Tendencies. Brimher against Wheelie Wacko. And they're those Razorblade boys against Red Dragon. Let's get ready to Robot Rumble, Craig.
The time for talking's over. Let the wars begin.
From Lincoln, Stinger.
Car parts from a Lotus and leather from a trouser belt were used in the 3-month construction of Stinger. The 3mm body shell steel domes come from a gas turbine, and there's a real sting in the tail.
Stinger, 1 horsepower motor in each wheel. Batteries, electronics, everything are inside these wheels here. On the tail, we've got a 6-kilogram tail wheel. When we stop the motors, it rolls over, right over the top, and crashes into the opposition. Very heavy tail wheel.
From East Sussex, Mace 2.
A semi-finalist in the last series, Mace 2 took just 3 weeks to rebuild around a 3mm thick steel Bosch chassis with aluminium frame. The front lifting ram can hoist 90 kilos.
I'm Shane, this is Brian, this is a robot Mace. It's designed around wheelchair technology. The motors have been slightly modified to produce a bit more torque. We've got a front weapon which is pneumatically powered lift for hopefully picking up other opponents
and the back weapon's a high-speed chain flail which rotates approximately 2,000 RPM.
Robot ears, stand by.
Mace 2 with bot vets Shane Howard and Brian Fountain. And Stinger with the Kevin Scott, Carl Skinner and Jonathan Peli team.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
And it's Mace 2 which gets off to the fastest start. In comes Stinger, which, even though it can be flipped over, has what we in Robot Wars call Shrimex, a self-righting mechanism, which we've seen in the past can prove so very, very vital. But it's Mace 2 doing all the work there. And again, Stinger goes up and crashes that great grinding wheel against the floor of the arena. What on earth for? Wasted energy here. Being turned by Mace 2. And Stinger crashes off into the distance again like some massive flailing insect, hopping and bouncing around like a Mad March hare. In again to... Do they really know what they're doing? Should we have tested them for booze beforehand, I wonder? Mace 2 in underneath Stinger again. Turning in, toppling, oh, spinning madly. This is great fun. In against the arena wall, they want to give that some punishment. Oh. Well, it was only a matter of time, wasn't it? Absolute Looney Tunes from the Stinger team. Bouncing off Mace 2. Oh, dear. Well, the sting in the tail was that Stinger is well and truly stung. Over and out, I think, for them.
Well, through some amazingly erratic driving, Stinger ends up in the pit and out of the competition. The new improved Mace, Mace 2, goes through.
Side you two, don't you? There's some little shining star above your head. I saw it in the last war, this shiny star that always brought you through, and it's here again. You're both so rubbish at being confident. Oh no, that's us out then. Have you seen the competition? Oh well, we'll be out then. Well. And you always come back.
We feel a bit better now, anyway.
Mace 2 feeling better because they're through. Next up, Forklift's Revenge against Suicidal Tendencies.
From Ipswich, Forklift's Revenge.
Powered by 4 wheelchair motors, this wedge-shaped robot has a welded steel tube body frame, MDF and steel panels. The forks are made from industrial shelving.
Chains at the front here are toothed, so as they rotate, the chain moves and picks up an opponent. This is aided by these front forks, which get underneath an opponent.
From Derby, Suicidal Tendencies.
Constructed over 8 weeks using model train motors, Suicidal Tendencies also runs on tracks. The team say they're a work of art. The weaponry, a set of milling cutters at the front.
Suicidal Tendencies, it's the first entrance to Robot Wars this year. It's a tracked robot, as you can see, with a revolving disc cutter at the front and 2 Bosch motors for the power and the main drive.
The tracks, we have 120 links between the 2 sides, all individually made. Took over 3 weeks to do them.
The weapon revolves about 1500 RPM. The spikes hopefully will dig in and flip the opposition up. We've also got a cover on the top which is made from spring steel, so hopefully it's not very easy to penetrate.
Roboteers, stand by.
Forklift's Revenge, a family team, John Benton, Bob Benton and Andrew Shorter. And Suicidal Tendencies with Andrew Jeffrey, Martin Jeffrey, his brother, and Charles Binns.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Suicidal Tendencies making the first manoeuvre, then dodging back. They're the tooth chain drive on Forklift's Revenge, and those 2 mighty forks as well. Suicidal Tendencies having 1 attack, then thinking twice about committing suicide and turning away. Don't forget, if neither of these robots immobilise at the end, the judges will adjudicate on style, damage control and aggression. And Tendencies the more aggressive so far. Damage there to the arena floor. Picked up on those tooth chain drives of Forklift's Revenge, which is being nudged towards the flame pit here and out towards the arena edge. I don't think the flames will cause many problems to the steel tube body frame of Revenge, but certainly Suicidal Tendencies doing all the work here. Oh, and pushing Forklift up towards the CPZ, the corner patrol zone, and that's a Killalot, one of the house robots. And if you go into one of those CPZs, you're fair game. And this is the mean and moody, menacing Sir Killalot. Oh, look at that. This is a mere bauble of toy for Killalot. That's rather gruesome. All those weeks' work. And coming to naught, coming to a gruesome end. They want the end. Horrible little hooligans all. And Killalot holds and toys and teases. And I'm afraid that's it for Forklift's Revenge. Killalot has done his damage. They're through.
Well, phenomenal driving skills from Suicidal Tendencies. Suddenly, he seems to want to live, and he's through to the next round.
It seemed a bit slow at time. I thought we got a bit of problems with the fail-safes cutting in, but...
With the fail-safes?
Yeah.
What are they?
They stop it moving when the frequency
when something goes wrong.
When something goes wrong.
Well, you've got a thing in there that stops it moving if everything goes wrong.
Unfortunately, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all to me. If everything goes wrong, you need to be scarpering.
Killalot helped, but no kamikaze from Suicidal Tendencies. They're through. Next up, Brimher against Wheelie Wacko.
From Oldham, Brimher.
Charlton Heston isn't driving. 2 24-volt wheelchair motors do that job. The shell 3mm thick aluminium. The weapon is a hardened steel spike.
This is our robot, Brimher. Inside here we've got a home design electronic system designed by Paul. We've got the batteries and a pneumatic ram for the spike on the front. This is the 4-wheel drive system for the control. On the side here we have side cutters for damaging other robots.
From Brighton, Wheelie Wacko.
My sort of robot. It's built from a beer barrel. Balanced by concrete at the base, the weaponry spikes on a swinging body frame. Costs only £150 to build.
I'm John, this is Ray and this is Lorne, and this is the robot, Wheelie Wacko. And basically, it swings as it strikes another robot or as it stops. And the spikes at the front come down and hit the robot, and then it will self-right itself by balancing.
Roboteers, stand by.
Brimher with work colleagues Mike McKenzie, Paul Mannering and Daniel Hudson. And Wheelie Wacko from Brighton with John Wyatt, Lorne Baker, Raymond Taylor.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And a slow and sluggish start. You can see there Sergeant Bash coming away from the CPZ at the top of your picture. I don't know whether you notice he's one of the house robots. Don't forget, they can come into play if one of these competing gladiators goes astray. What a strange-looking beast Wheelie Wacko is. Sort of the wheels you see coming off the back of a lorry sometimes on the side of a motorway. You know that great swinging arm with the spikes on it? 8 miles an hour, though, isn't the quickest in the field. Brimher can only touch 9 mph. So this is hardly a Grand Prix of Robot Wars. Brimher nudging Wheelie Wacko against the wall. I wonder if he can get out from there. There's the spike. You can see that there? That's the hardened steel spike. Oh, towards Killalot. You don't want to be in there, really. Wheelie Wacky, if they are going to go in there and take on Killalot. Oh, and look at this great strength here. Superb driving ability to get away from Killalot, who goes off in pursuit and has Wheelie Wacko, but can't lift the Brighton machine as Brimher is on the flame pit. Slowly broiled steel shell. Killalot, top of your picture, patrolling, and I think Brimher is immobilised here. I think the motors must have been burned out on the flame pit. And certainly Mace thinks so too. And look at that mighty axe cleaving through the aluminium body shell. Oh! Penetratingly painful. And all now the house robots are in for the kill. And they want it too. The end of Brimher.
Cease.
Well, Brimher was immobilised. Towards the end, it was like vultures feeding on a carcass. The winner, Wheelie Wacko.
I like the polystyrene add-ons. The beer barrel came through.
A couple of punches, but we can handle it.
Yeah?
Both the tyres have been split on the inside rims.
Well, if you just have normal kind of tyres, what do you expect, really? You're going to get a puncture in there, if anywhere. Clear off, well done. We'll talk to you soon. And no nicking tyres out of the car park. Because we know who you are.
A bit tired and emotional, but Wheelie Wacko through. Next up, Razorblade against Red Dragon.
From Cambridge, Razorblade.
Made by the Killdozer team from the last series, again powerful, it can pull a Ford Granada and the petrol-powered chainsaw can slice into the dreams of any rival.
Hi, my name's Paul, this is Steve, this is Howard, and this is our robot Razorblade. Uses two 24-volt, 750-watt electric motors for power. It's got a hydraulic lift on the front, and it's got a chainsaw on the back. So we lift them up, turn them over, cut them up. If we get a problem with the chainsaw, we also revert to the Crucifix of Doom. We can impale them with that, spike them with that, whatever.
From Sunderland, Red Dragon.
A beautiful beast, its raw red, angry colours matched by nasty-looking pneumatic claws. Its scales of steel come from the local scrapyard.
Hi, my name's Tom Armstrong. This is my son, Tom. And this is Red Dragon. It's powered by batteries and it has a CO2 cylinder in that drives this ram here, which allows this to go forward and nip other robots. It also lifts them, and it has a self-rating mechanism here. So when it gets tips on its side, it can be tipped back again.
Robot ears, stand by.
Razorblade with Paul Hart, Howard Andrews and Steve Scotcher. And Red Dragon with Tom Armstrong and Tom Armstrong.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And the Tom team slow to beat the tattoo of their battle drum as Razorblade comes quickly out of the traps then. Red Dragon trying to spin away. Can't bring those claws into operation yet, and certainly Razorblade looks the more manoeuvrable. and clever machine at the moment, and edging Red Dragon up there towards the CPZ on the spikes. It'll have to get away from there. You can see the smaller front wheels behind those claws. And meanwhile, Razorblade is now on the spikes, I think, trying to bring the chainsaw into play. And you can see there for the first time the claws of Red Dragon. Oh, and Sergeant Bash with the front pincers in the CPZ coming into play. There's also Kill-A-Lot. And Razorblade will have to get away from there. Red Dragon turns and looks to manoeuvre and come forward again. Razorblade being pursued by the house robots. Needs to get out of that CPZ area, the corner patrol zone. Bash trying to push it towards Killer. And there's a problem here with Red Dragon. It's not moving. They're trying to get the Shremex into play. Why? It's not toppled. It doesn't need self-righting. I think Red Dragon's motors have gone here. And so do the house robots. Bash very quickly in. Also there, the back of Kill-A-Lot, Matilda, hovering. Well, Red Dragon is simply tossed into the air and will soon be finished off. Flailed around like a loose leaf in autumn. And the red leaf of autumn colours of Red Dragon will be seen no more. Into the pit of oblivion, and bye-bye to you.
Cease.
Red Dragon in the pit, just like Stinger. Sir Kill-A-Lot lives up to his name, but Razorblade lives to fight another day.
Can you hear that? What's that strange hissing sound? What is it? Is it about to blow? She's about to blow! She's about to blow! Right, I've got one question to ask. And I want you to be honest. Did you win by skill?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any other way?
I think a combination of both.
All right, fair enough. We'll see you in the next round. Well done, guys.
Tense tussle so far. Mace 2, Suicidal Tendencies, Wheelie Whacker and Razorblade through to round 2 of our first heat. Let's give them a little bit of time for repairs, though, and take a breather. Well, not really. It's trials and tribulations of a different kind now.
As our competitors are whittled down once more, let's have a time out. And what better way to relax than with the return of that old arcade favourite, our Pinball Warrior Championship. Each robot has to score as many points as they can by attempting various challenges, from navigating obstacles, knocking down targets, and taking on the house robots. The harder the challenge, the more points awarded. The robot with the highest score at the end of the series will be crowned our Pinball Warrior Champion. Relaxing, you get more rest at a Meatloaf concert. Ah, well, let the trials begin.
And Craig, how do you score points on our giant pinball table? This is how. 5 for each of those barrels down, 15 points for going up and over the seesaw, 50 points for hitting that target. Mind you, Bash is in there, look, so watch out. There's our new multi-ball option. That's a surprise. More on that later. Here we go, another 75-point target. Dead Metal, though, patrols. 25 points for opening this gate, going through. 50 points there, another target marshalled by Shunt. And the big Sphere of Doom, hit that into a pocket, you get 25 points and 5 points for each of those barrels. 10 robots will take on the pinball throughout the series. The first is Dominator from Cambridgeshire, 79 kilograms. Titanium tipped spikes there, the main weapons. Peter Halloway, Elliot Smart and Bruce Benson make up the team.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
I think they'll probably go for the barrels. First of all, they're easy points scored, you see. Now the seesaw option. Not great control. Needs a better run-up, really, to get up and over that seesaw. And I think the barrels are actually impeding the run-up to the seesaw. So Dominator decides not to take on the seesaw. It immediately runs into Bash. There, the paint-licking flame. And Kill-A-Lot, who can patrol the whole of the pinball arena, is free to do so. And knocks into that barrel. Oh, look at that, it's released the multi-ball. Now that's 10 points for hitting the multi-ball. And for each of those balls which fly out and then go down into a pocket, it's an extra 5 points per ball. Magnificent stuff. And meanwhile, Dominator trying to edge towards that 50-point barrier in the top. But squeezed by Kill-A-Lot and also by Dead Metal. and taking some punishment in there. And the balls can't be freed out. Damage has been caused, littering the pinball arena, but now taking on this target and getting points. 75 points there. The first contact was good for Dominator. Bounced off the target by Killalot. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Imagine having your rear end pinched by Killalot. Oh, there's a thought. Needs to get out of there, Dominator. To get quick points now. Trying to push through the car door gate to pick up 25 more points. It swings. Dominator trying to get to the 50 points. Couldn't get in there, and the house robots now exacting revenge. Dead metal and also shunt. Damage limitation exercise for the Dominator team after picking up good points. Not a bad run at all on the pinball. 160 points. That's a good score. They're the barrels early on. That's the crucial barrel. Release the multi-balls. Out they come. But in the end, the robots exacting revenge. Good score, I think. 160 points. And there it is confirmed. Dominator, the first of our pinball entrants, 160 points.
Will anyone beat that score? We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, it's back to the wars.
And battling for a place in the heat final, Razorblade against Suicidal Tendencies, but first up, Maze 2 against Wheelie Wacko, and Philippa's with the Wacko boys.
Hey guys, how are you feeling before the big match?
Confident.
Are you? Mace is a pretty mean robot.
Yeah, he's been in before as well.
They've got experience now.
We know they're worried though.
They are they?
Oh, yeah, they told us.
And have they every reason to be worried?
Yeah, I think so.
They could get punch drunk and end up under the table.
I think it's about time we kicked arse and chewed bubblegum.
Good! Good, yes, fighting talk. This is the first time I've heard fighting talk from you two.
Hoisted towards Bothala, home of the robot gods, the two competing teams.
Roboteers, stand by.
Wheelie Wacko, Tom Wyatt, Lorne Baker, Raymond Taylor. Mace 2 with Shane Howard and Brian Fountain. Shane driving.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
So here we go, competing for a place in the first heat final. Wheelie Wacko spinning away. Defeated Brim Her, who was immobilized in the previous heat. Mace 2 beating Stinger. Stinger driving into a pit, you'll remember. And immediately, Wheelie Wacko with those great swinging spikes looks dangerous, but looks the less manoeuvrable of the robots. And Mace 2 from East Sussex against this Brighton team, Wheelie Wacko, is moving smoothly. And don't forget, if neither of these is immobilized, the judges will adjudicate. Style, control, damage, and aggression are the factors which count. Oh! Feel that rubber burn there from the liquid flame, and again. Getting a little bit hot under the collar, Wheelie Wacko, and pushed against the side walls, but bouncing back again. Dodging the house robots is Killalot. At the moment, it's a tussle in the middle of the arena. Dancing away Mace 2, trying to get that front lift ram, which can lift 90 kilos up and underneath Wheelie Wacko, but it takes some punishment on top there. Don't forget, Mace 2, very powerfully built. The thick steel box chassis, aluminium armour. You see Sergeant Bash's flamethrower there, top of your picture. Aggression from Wheelie Wacko as Mace 2 backs away for another charge there. Comes in trying to flip up Wheelie Wacko. I don't know whether that would be a good tactic anyway. The beer can, at the moment, protecting Wheelie Wacko. Time ticking down. Oh, and can he avoid the pit of oblivion? Heave-ho from Mace 2. The great power! Dismisses Wheelie Wacko. Can he get out of there? No! Doomed in success for Shane Howard and Brian Fountain. They march on. Mace 2, a frantic jig of delight. And Wheelie Wacko can't climb, not even with the aid of Killalot. Oh, what's this? Surely the house robots aren't going to inflict more punishment on Wheelie Wacko. Look at dead metal up there. Wants to get into the thick of things? No! Oh no! The end for Wheelie Wacko, feeling all rather tired out.
Well, Wheelie Wacko gets toasted and pitted. The winner is Mace 2. Come on, lads. Well, you've beaten Stinger, you've beaten Wheelie Wacko. You've been around for a long time, the Mace 2 boys. How do you think the standard of the competition is this year?
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Well, you think you can go any further?
We'll give it a
Wait and see.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mace 2!
What do you think was your failing? If you could put your failing on one thing, what would you have changed?
Ask the driver.
More power.
Go on.
Needed more power, really.
More power. That's what you would change. If you could go back in time, just a mere few moments, that's what you change.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what to come back with next time then.
Yep.
More power.
Oh, wheelie boo-hoo. Mace 2, go through. Next up, Razorblade against Suicidal Tendencies.
Right, Razorblade team, are there any trials, traumas or tribulations that I should know about before we go into the arena?
Not at the moment. We've repaired the chainsaw after the last event, and as far as we're aware, everything's okay.
And how do you feel about your opponents?
Good robot, looks nice. Unfortunately, runs upside down, so we'll have a problem if we turn them over. Just going to keep going. Might be able to do something with the chainsaw on the track, though, because they're aluminium.
Okay, all right. It's not a problem for you at all if you turn over, as it said, because you can run upside down, so that's quite good.
Yeah.
What are your aims going to be against Razorblade?
I think if we take his chainsaw off first.
Yeah.
Have that off.
First. Optimistic.
I think we'll give this one to Matilda.
And hoisted to their lofty position for control, the teams from Razorblade and Suicidal Tendencies.
Roboteers, stand by.
Suicidal Tendencies, Andrew Jeffrey, Martin Jeffrey, his brother, and Charles Binns. And Razorblade with Paul Hart, Howard Andrews and Steve Scotcher, all work colleagues.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Just to remind you, Razorblade earlier on got rid of Red Dragon, and Suicidal Tendencies beat Forklifts when Killalot destroyed its enemy. The main weaponry for Razorblade, that hydraulic lift in the front, and of course the chainsaw at the back. Suicidal Tendencies having the milling cutters at the front. There you see them, flashing red on the yellow background. Driven on by those track wheel drives. A work of art, say the team, from Derby. The side motor panel looks to be a little bit vulnerable, I think, on Razorblade. There you can see it there. Oh, and immediately Suicidal Tendencies driving at that side panel. Now, the main shell of Razorblade is aluminium, and the chassis is steel as well, but I think those side panels could be vulnerable. I wonder if the Suicidal boys think so too, and they're driving there at the side panels, causing some damage. Just a little bit of tattered metal, I think, but look at the Suicidal Tendencies team. One of the tracks has gone as it went in on the attack, causing minor damage, it would seem. But you can just see the track grinding to a halt, not fully immobilised. The left track is still grinding slowly away, but certainly its manoeuvrability has been seriously impaired here. And very much Razorblade on top and in control. Trying to edge Suicidal Tendencies towards the pit. Killalot bottom of your picture as well awaits. Razorblade on the charge again. I don't think Suicidal Tendencies can stay away from that pit for long because of the problem with its track. It's only a matter of time, I would have thought. They're trying to lift it up now. Suicidal Tendencies hanging on. Very low ground clearance, only 35 millimetres. The mill cutter's saying, stay away from me, otherwise I'll cause you damage as well. Well, they're doing a brilliant job. Oh, my goodness me! Razorblade has driven itself onto the verge of the pit. What a turn-up this is! Completely in control, and Razorblade in real problems here now. And Suicidal Tendencies, almost down and out, can suddenly go on and win it. If he can summon enough power to come in on the drive, can it? I think the steering's almost gone. Oh, this is agonising. Kill-a-lot trying to flick Razorblade into the pit has actually brought it back to life. Well, well, well. And now Razorblade can come back on the attack. So close, this one. Almost down and out suicidal tendencies, and yet still in the fray, and the thick of it too. Can hardly move, look. And this one will go to the judges, I would think.
Well, 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 that's all very confusing. We're going to have to go to the judges to make a decision. But while they're making a decision, let's look at some of the key moments from that battle.
They'll be marking on style control, damage and aggression. Not really great damage early on. Then they get suicidal tendencies, lost the manoeuvrability of one of its tracks. There was damage caused to Razorblade, but right at the end, with suicidal tendencies almost down and out, this could be crucial, because Razorblade drove itself into the pit. I know Paul Hart and Howard Andrews and Steve Scott will be desperately disappointed, but it was suicidal tendencies which got away there, look.
And the judges have made the decision. Suicidal tendencies go through!
It were a battle and a half.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
It was full of twists and turns, and no one knew which direction it would take.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed. But
yeah.
Yes. Well, we don't
I think we're all peeled.
Stewards in glory.
Because
You see, this is what I was going to... I thought
if we'd have tried to push them in the
this.
pit, if we'd have just left them and drove around, we'd have won.
Yes.
But we tried to get them in the pit, make a bit of a game of it.
Yes.
And we, unfortunately, we knocked
Ended up in the pit.
If Kill-a-Lot had got us out earlier, we wouldn't have been disqualified because...
But did Kill-a-Lot mean to get you out?
Yes, of course he did. He's our mate.
I think you know probably what they're saying.
Well, if they're stupid enough to charge at a robot that's sat by the pit, that can only drive on one mode, but no, it was a good fight, it really was good, we enjoyed it.
It was a close shave, but Razorblade go out, suicidal tendencies through to the heat final against Mace 2.
Well, one robot's about to sink, one's about to sail on into a place on our series semi-finals.
Roboteers, stand by.
So it's suicidal tendencies, the Derby team, Andrew, Martin and Charles, disposing of forklifts early on. Eventually forklifts disposed of by Kill-a-Lot, really. But after being shoved and bashed around the arena, it was Kill-a-Lot who came in for the final disposal. Then Razorblade, controversially, drove itself into the pit, and the judges went with suicidal tendencies, putting it through to this heat final. Mace 2 from East Sussex, Shane Howard and Brian Fountain. This was the disposal of Stinger, driven into the pit. After some frantic flurries, really good fun. Not for the Stinger team. And then Wheelie Wacko, as Shane and Brian took control, dumped again into that self-same pit.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So here we go then, for a place in the semi-finals. Some cagey early driving by suicidal tendencies. Here Mace 2 come on the attack. That front lift ram can lift 90 kilos. Suicidal tendencies flipped up over. The milling cutters spinning. I wonder what sort of damage that can do to the body shell, which is 3mm thick steel with aluminium armour too. And for me, Mace 2 looks very formidable. A semi-finalist in the last series, rebuilt over 3 weeks by Brian Fountain, who builds model fairground rides out of baby milk tins. How curious. And Shane Howard. Cagey stuff still. Piggyback for suicidal tendencies, but again, just easily motoring away there, you see. Orbit into the corner patrol zone and got away very, very speedily. So crucial to get away from the house robots who patrol those areas. Suicidal tendencies. had problems with one of those tracks in the last fight against Razorblade. All the early aggression by Mace 2. Oh dear, and Killalot's got him, and it got away again. Get back to Killalot, says Mace 2. Killalot very sluggish. A creature of the night. Not yet woken to this daytime battle, perhaps, I don't know. Suicidal tendencies, driven back in there again by Mace 2. This time it's Matilda. What a horrible tail she's got. Imagine being entwined with Matilda, a creature of the night. Killalot now has suicidal tendencies. Again it gets away. Look at the track marks left all over the arena as it spins and attacks Mace 2. Little bit of aggression there by suicidal tendencies. But Mace 2 driving towards Shunt this time. And there comes the big pickaxe. Slicing and perforating the top of suicidal tendencies. It's aluminium and steel shell taking punishment from Shunt. Andrew and Martin Jeffrey, the brothers, and Charles Binns trying to steer suicidal tendencies away. It goes to the judges again.
Well, it seems pretty plain to me, but the judges are still deliberating. While they deliberate, let's look at some of the highlights of that battle.
Well, aggression for me counts for all in this heat final, and it was Mace flipping suicidal tendencies, and again, lovely control by the Mace 2 team. There's the overhead flip, then driving into Killalot's clutches, suicidal tendencies, having little chance to cause damage itself, and the final blow for me, damage sustained by Shunt. Gotta be Mace.
I thought so. The judges have gone for Mace 2. They said they were going to make mincemeat out of you, but they didn't even have a weapon, did they?
Yeah, they've got a big chewy thing on the front.
Trouble was, though, you kept flipping him over, but that doesn't really make any difference with him, does it?
No, it makes their driving a bit more awkward when they're upside down.
Does it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So, how far do you think you can go, then?
I'd like to say all the way, but I don't think so. We'll give it a best shot anyway.
You're not very confident?
We're going to give it the best.
You're going to give it your best shot?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see you in the series semi-finals. Give it up for Mace 2! The wimps draw lots, the softies draw straws, but the tough draw a line on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
The significance of where you're at now really got through.
Yeah.
Series semi-finalists.
Yeah, same place as last year.
Yeah, we hope to go a little bit better than last year.
At least one round more.
But we're happy.
Good.